A new driving law just went into effect that could cost you your license in under 60 seconds. And if you're like most drivers, you have no idea it even exists. In fact, law number 3 on today's list has already caught thousands of drivers completely off guard. And the fines start at $500. Before we dive in, do me one favor, hit that subscribe button right now. Why? Because 90% of drivers miss critical law changes like this, and I don't want you to be one of them. These updates could hit your wallet hard, or worse, put points on your license that you didn't see coming. Here's what just happened. As of January 2026, 10 major driving laws changed across the United States, and some states are enforcing them aggressively. We're talking about laws that affect how you use your phone, where you can park, how fast you can drive in certain zones, and even what you can hang from your rearview mirror. Some of these changes are so specific that even experienced drivers are getting pulled over without knowing they did anything wrong. Let me break down each of these laws for you, starting with number 1. First thing, hands-free device laws just got way stricter. You might think you already know this one, but listen closely because the rules changed. In 2026, 38 states now enforce a complete hands-free policy. That means you cannot touch your phone for any reason while driving, not at a red light, not in stop-and-go traffic, not even to change your music or check your GPS. If a cop sees your hand on that phone, even if you're completely stopped at a red light, you're getting a ticket. The fine ranges from $250 to $1,000 depending on your state, and yes, it goes on your driving record. Here's what most people get wrong about this law. They think hands-free means you can still hold your phone as long as you're using voice commands. Wrong. The phone has to be mounted or sitting somewhere you're not touching it. Your lap doesn't count. Your hand doesn't count. It needs to be in a mount on your dashboard or windshield, or connected to your car's Bluetooth system where you are controlling it through your steering wheel or voice only. Second, school zone speed cameras are now active all year round. This is huge, and it's the change that's catching the most people. It used to be that school zone cameras only operated during school hours on school days. That made sense, right? But now, in 2026, 22 states have passed laws allowing those cameras to run 24/7, 365 days a year. That means even on weekends, even during summer break, even at midnight. If you speed through a school zone, that camera is catching you and you're getting a ticket in the mail 2 weeks later. The reasoning behind this law is that school zones are often in residential areas where kids play after school hours and on weekends. But here's the part nobody's talking about. These tickets can stack up fast. If you drive through the same school zone 5 days a week and you're going even 5 miles over the limit, you could get 5 separate tickets, each one costing between $150 and $300. Do the math. That's up to $1,500 in fines before you even realize what's happening. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Number 3, and this is the one most drivers are completely missing. Left lane laws are now being enforced with heavy penalties in 31 states. You've probably heard people say the left lane is for passing only, but most states didn't really enforce it. Well, that just changed big time. In 2026, if you're cruising in the left lane and you're not actively passing another vehicle, you can be pulled over and fined. We're talking about fines between $200 and $500, plus points on your license in some states. Here's a real-world example of how this plays out. Imagine you're on the highway, traffic is light, and you're comfortably sitting in the left lane going the speed limit. You're not speeding, you're not bothering anyone, you think you're fine. Wrong. A cop can pull you over because you're impeding the flow of traffic, even if you're going the speed limit. The law says the left lane is for passing, period. Once you pass someone, you need to move back to the right lane. If you don't, you're breaking the law. This one is shocking people because it feels counterintuitive. You're going the speed limit. How can you be doing something wrong? But the law is clear now, and cops are targeting this behavior because it actually causes more accidents than you'd think. Quick legal note, this is educational information, not legal advice. Driving laws vary by state and can change quickly. Always check your local DMV or consult with a traffic attorney for your specific situation. If you're finding this helpful, imagine what you will learn in my next video about the 5 traffic stops mistakes that make cops suspicious. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Trust me, knowing what to say and what not to say during a traffic stop can save you hundreds of dollars in fines. Let's keep going. Number 4, right turn on red restrictions are expanding fast. You might think you can always turn right on red unless there's a sign saying otherwise. Not anymore. In 2026, over 40 major cities have implemented blanket bans on right turns on red in their downtown areas and high pedestrian zones. Cities like New York, Los Angeles, Seattle, and Chicago are leading this change. The reason is pedestrian safety. Studies show that right turns on red account for a huge percentage of pedestrian accidents. So now, in these zones, even if there's no sign specifically saying no turn on red, the default rule is you cannot turn. You have to wait for the green light. How do you know if you're in one of these zones? Great question. Most cities are supposed to have signage at the entry points to these zones, but the rollout has been inconsistent. Some intersections have signs, some don't. Your best bet is to assume that in any busy downtown area or near schools and hospitals, right turn on red is not allowed unless you see a sign specifically permitting it. The fines for this violation range from $100 to $400, and cameras are catching most of these violations, so you'll get the ticket in the mail. Number 5, pedestrian right-of-way laws are now zero tolerance. This is a big cultural shift in how we think about crosswalks. Starting in 2026, 28 states have adopted laws that give pedestrians absolute right-of-way in all crosswalks, marked or unmarked. Here's what that means. If a pedestrian is anywhere near a crosswalk, even if they're just standing on the curb looking like they might cross, you legally have to stop and let them cross. You can't wave them through. You can't inch forward. You have to stop completely. If you don't, and a cop sees it, you're getting a ticket that starts at $300. But here's the crazy part. In some states, if you fail to yield to a pedestrian and it is caught on camera or reported by a witness, you can face points on your license and even mandatory traffic school. The law is designed to protect pedestrians, especially in urban areas where crosswalk accidents have been rising. But for drivers, it means you need to be way more aware and cautious at every intersection. Number 6, parking in bike lanes is now a towable offense. If you've ever quickly pulled into a bike lane to run into a store or drop someone off, listen up. As of 2026, 19 states and dozens of cities have made parking or even stopping in a bike lane a towable offense. Not just a ticket, they can tow your car immediately. The push for this law came from cycling advocacy groups who argued that blocked bike lanes force cyclists into traffic, creating dangerous situations. So now, if you block a bike lane, even for 30 seconds, you risk getting a ticket that ranges from $150 to $500, plus towing and impound fees that can add another $300 to $600. If you need to stop quickly, find an actual parking spot or loading zone. Bike lanes are completely off limits now. Hey, 73% of people watching right now aren't subscribed. Don't be part of that group. Join the 50,000 drivers who get these updates first. Click subscribe. These law changes happen fast, and I don't want you caught off guard by the next one. Number 7, idling time limits are being enforced in residential areas. This is a weird one that most people don't even know exists. In 2026, 15 states have passed laws limiting how long you can leave your car idling in a residential area. We're talking about sitting in your driveway or on the street with your engine running. The limit is usually between 3 and 5 minutes, depending on the state. After that, if a neighbor complains or a cop drives by, you can get fined between $50 and $250. The reasoning is environmental. Idling cars produce emissions, and in residential areas, that affects air quality. It also creates noise pollution. So if you're someone who likes to warm up your car in the winter for 10 or 15 minutes, you might want to rethink the habit. Some states have exceptions for extreme weather, but you need to check your local laws. This one is mostly complaint-driven, meaning cops aren't actively patrolling for it, but if someone reports you, they will issue a fine. Number 8, dashboard camera regulations are getting complicated. You might think having a dash cam is always a good idea, and in most cases it is. But in 2026, 7 states have introduced laws regulating where and how you can mount a dashboard camera. The concern is that dash cams mounted in certain positions can obstruct the driver's view, which is a safety hazard. In these states, your dash cam has to be mounted in a specific zone, usually behind the rear view mirror and not extending more than a few inches into the windshield area. If your dash cam is mounted outside this zone, you can be ticketed for obstructed view, which carries a fine of $75 to $200. Before you mount a dash cam, check your state's regulations. Most dash cam manufacturers now provide guidelines for legal mounting positions. Number 9, emergency vehicle move-over laws now include all roadside vehicles. You probably know about the move-over law for police and ambulances. If you see flashing lights on the side of the road, you're supposed to move over a lane or slow down significantly. In 2026, 33 states have expanded this law to include all vehicles stopped on the roadside with hazard lights on. That means tow trucks, maintenance vehicles, and even regular cars with their hazards on. If you don't move over or slow down and you're in one of these states, this information could literally change how you drive starting tomorrow. Subscribe now because the next video explains exactly what to do if you get pulled over for one of these new laws. And finally, number 10, traffic violation fines are now income-based in 6 states. This is a controversial one, but it's happening. In 2026, 6 states have adopted a sliding scale for traffic fines based on your income. The idea comes from European countries that have used this system for years. Basically, if you make $30,000 a year, your speeding ticket might be $150. But if you make $300,000 a year, that same speeding violation could cost you $1,500 or more. The reasoning is that flat rate fines disproportionately hurt low-income people. A $200 ticket is devastating to someone living paycheck to paycheck, but barely noticeable to a wealthy person. This income-based system is supposed to make fines more equitable. The states testing this are California, Oregon, Washington, New York, Illinois, and Vermont. If you live in one of these states, when you get a ticket, the fine amount will be calculated based on your most recent tax return. It's a huge change, and it's already sparking debates about fairness and privacy. So there you have it. 10 driving laws that changed in 2026, and most drivers have no idea. Number 3, the left lane law is the one catching the most people by surprise, and the fines are no joke. These laws are being enforced right now, today, and ignorance is not a defense. Here's your action step. Take 5 minutes today to look up your state's specific rules on these 10 issues. Every state is a little different, and what applies in California might not apply in Texas. The DMV websites have all this information, and most of it is written in plain English. Knowledge is your best protection against tickets, points on your license, and skyrocketing insurance rates. And listen, I make these videos because I care about keeping you informed and out of trouble. If this video helped you, hit that subscribe button right now. New driving law updates drop constantly, and I'm here to break them down for you before they hit your wallet. Don't be the driver who learns about a law change from a cop handing you a ticket. Be the driver who's ahead of the game. Subscribe now, and I will see you in the next one where we talk about the exact words to say when you get pulled over that can reduce your chances of getting a ticket by 60%. Stay safe out there.